Hey friends, welcome back to the channel with more of the Big Bang Theory. This is season 2, episode 2, and last time we had a bit of a debacle with Penny feeling insecure about the different levels of education she and Leonard had, and Leonard completely messed up his response to her, telling her she should just go to community college, agreeing to the fact that it doesn't matter to him if she's not smart. Ouch. Looking forward to seeing what kind of shenanigans we get into this time, if they'll continue with the relationship storyline or if we'll go into other different things. But yeah, leave a like, it really helps the channel, and if you want to watch the full reaction or early reactions, check out Patreon in the link in the description below. Otherwise, let's get started.
Worst Renaissance fair ever.
The Renaissance Fair,
Please let it go,
as Ted
Sheldon.
Mosby would say.
It was rife with historical inaccuracies. In 1487, the Bavarian purity laws, or Reinheitsgebot, severely limited the availability of meat.
Okay.
At best, they would have had some sort of spiced wine.
Hi, guys.
Oh.
Looks like you've been to the Renaissance Fair. I'm hoping.
I'm hoping.
You guys, this is my friend Eric.
Hello.
Hi.
Hey.
So yeah, good to see you.
Did they not talk about this?
We should probably go.
Like your hat. Thanks, my mom made it.
Aww.
We stopped dating and now we're both moving on.
By moving on, do you mean she's going out with other men and you spend the afternoon making 15th century soap with Wolowitz?
Please just.
I guess they
go
might
in
have
my
talked about it
emails
off
in my
screen.
underwear.
You're wearing modern underwear?
Yes.
Relatively modern.
Relatively?
Why? What are you wearing?
I fashioned historically accurate undergarments out of linen.
You went out and bought linen?
Don't be silly. I borrowed one of your pillowcases.
Hey.
Borrowed?
Borrowed. As if you're gonna give it back, right?
You know what? I'm happy that Penny's moving on. It gives me the freedom to move on myself.
Are you saying that you've been holding back?
Of course. Out of respect.
So how do you explain the 10 years before Penny?
Who are you respecting then?
Ooh.
I've dated plenty of women. What about that girl last year at Comic-Con?
What happens in costume at Comic-Con stays at Comic-Con.
You're only saying that because of what happened to you.
What happened to you?
Nothing happened to me.
No,
Your
nothing.
fault, Raj. He was dressed as a green Orion slave girl.
Oh boy.
What about Leslie Winkle?
Oh, no. She's often mean to me.
I think she's smoking hot.
I'd hit that.
You'd hit particulate soil and a colloidal suspension.
She's not interested in dating as much as using men as tools for stress release.
Yeah, so be a tool.
Be a tool.
Get yourself a little rebound stress release.
Technically, it would only be rebound if he and Penny had actually engaged in physical intimacy.
You mean like you and
Yikes.
Richard the slave girl?
Oof.
We kissed once, that was it. And he told me his name was Kimberly.
Poor Raj.
Hey,
Leslie,
Hey,
we were
dummy.
just talking about you. Dummy.
Hello to you, insufficiently intelligent person.
Ooh, rush me to the burn unit.
Leslie's pretty great.
Hey, Leonard.
I'm going to go do work that promises significant results, as opposed to what you do, which does not. Yeah, you heard me.
Now that you're unattached, maybe we can revisit our previous attachment. Just figure it's time to slow things down, and who better to slow things down with than you?
That's flattering.
I'm flattered. So, how do you suggest we proceed?
I'll leave the details up to you. I think it's better if you assume the male role.
Thank you, that's
Okay.
very thoughtful.
Call me.
Oh my god. That was amazing.
Break out the Red Bull. It's time to rock Mario old school.
Someone's coming over.
Well, no problem. I have 3 controllers. The more the merrier.
Sheldon, it's a date. I have a date coming over.
Well, you can't blame me for not jumping to that conclusion.
Why? What's so unusual about me having a date?
Well, statistically speaking,
All right.
Well, nevertheless, I have one now, and I'd appreciate it if you would, make yourself scarce. Would you just give us a little privacy?
you want me to leave the apartment?
Yes.
You mean just go
The
someplace
whole
else
apartment?
and be
Just go in your room.
someplace else? Why should I leave? This is my apartment too.
I know it is, and if science ever discovers a second member of your species and you two would like some privacy, I'd be more than happy to get out of your way.
Well, all right then.
Well, all right then.
What are you doing?
Playing Super Mario on a poorly coded Nintendo 64 emulator.
The emulators are fine.
Leonard, get this, has a date.
Good for him.
Uh-huh.
But why are you sitting here? Why don't you just go to a movie or something?
Alone?
Dun-dun-dun-dun.
Hey, Penny. Dumbass.
Dumbass.
All the overrated physicists in all the labs in all the world. Why does it have to be Leslie Winkle?
Dee-doo-dee-doo.
Everybody has a date. Even you, Mario, going after Princess Peach.
How many children do you think we should have?
Holy crap.
I'm sorry. That was a little abrupt.
A little.
Besides shortness, what genetic weaknesses run in your family?
Wow. Wow.
There's the lactose intolerance.
Don't forget the male pattern baldness. When his uncles sit around the dinner table, they look like a half carton of eggs.
Ooh. That look.
What now?
I have to make pee-pee.
I have to make pee-pee.
Are you sure you're okay postponing intercourse until our relationship is past the initial viability test?
No problem. I'm very skilled at postponing intercourse.
I believe protocol dictates that you wait a minimum of 18 hours before you call, so I'm not repulsed by your cloying eagerness.
Okay.
Sure.
Again, it's your decision. You're the man.
No, it wasn't my cat. It was an experiment designed by this guy named Schrodinger.
Oh.
From the
Wow.
Charlie Brown cartoons?
No.
Good night.
No, don't.
Well, good night.
Oh my god.
That ain't gonna make your point.
Oh, Leslie. Holy crap, these two.
Call me.
Tell me.
Well, okay, good night.
What?
Had a great time. Ciao.
Oh, what?
I'm sorry, I am not going back to the Renaissance Fair.
Come on, Sheldon. There's so few places I can wear my jester costume.
That his mom made for
I
him.
don't care. How about this? You can go dressed as a Star Trek science officer exploring a planet similar to Earth in the 1500s.
Huh.
Fascinating.
They know how to mess with
Hey,
him.
fellow scientists. Sheldon.
Ooh.
Why don't we all move over there so Leslie can join us?
Come on, Sheldon.
If you're having trouble deciding where to sit, may I suggest one potato, two potato? Or as I call it, the Leslie Winkle experimental methodology. You can either sit with me, your friend, colleague, and roommate, or you can sit with an overrated scientist you might have sex with.
You're right, it is simple.
Third floor tonight? Mixing it up? Oh. You know, I still don't understand why you don't just go to dinner or something.
During the meal, I have to use the restroom. How do I know someone's not touching my food?
Fair enough.
Good night, Sheldon.
He's been drugged
Hold
twice
on.
in this series.
Are you sure things can't work out with you and Leonard?
Excuse me?
I'm just wondering if you really gave it the old college try. Or in your case, the old community college try.
He had to do that.
Leonard is upstairs right now with my arch enemy, the Dr. Doom to my Mr. Fantastic, the Dr. Octopus to my Spider-Man,
Okay.
the Dr. Savannah to my Captain Marvel.
Okay, I get it.
You know, it's amazing how many supervillains have advanced degrees. Graduate
Get to the
school
point.
should probably do a better job of screening those people out.
Sheldon, come back. You're losing me.
She called me dumbass.
I know, I heard. But I think for now, Leonard and I are just gonna stay friends.
No, that response is unacceptable to me.
Okay, let me put it this way. If you're really Leonard's friend, you will support him no matter who he wants to be with.
Why doesn't he have to support me in my hatred of Leslie Winkle?
Because love trumps hate.
Oh, now you're just making stuff up.
Okay, good night, Sheldon.
She tried.
Oh, Mario. If only I could control everyone the way I control you. Hop, you little plumber. Hop, hop, hop. Friends support their friends, apparently.
Apparently.
So I'm withdrawing my objection to your desire to have a relationship with Leslie. I will graciously overlook the fact that she is an arrogant, subpar scientist who actually believes loop quantum gravity better unites quantum mechanics with general relativity than does string theory.
What? She
Have
does?
fun.
We expect quantized space-time to manifest itself as minute differences in the speed of light for different colors.
Balderdash. Matter clearly consists of tiny strings.
Are you gonna let him talk to me like that?
He believes in string theory too.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of merit to both theories.
No, there isn't. Only loop quantum gravity calculates the entropy of black holes. Loop quantum gravity is the future
Oh,
of physics.
not
Sorry,
compatible.
Leslie, I guess I prefer my space stringy, not loopy. It's no big deal.
Oh, it isn't really? Tell me, Leonard, how will we raise the children?
Oh boy. How will we raise the
I
children?
guess we wait until they're old enough and let them choose their own theory.
We can't let them choose, Leonard. They're children.
Wait,
Bye.
where are you going?
I could have accepted our kids being genetically unable to eat ice cream or ever get a good view of a parade. But this is a deal breaker.
Wow.
Look on the bright side. Only 9 more months to Comic-Con.
Huh.
Oh, yeah. You guys want corn dogs?
Temporal anomaly. Corn dogs didn't come into existence till the first half of the 20th century.
Well, that was interesting. So yeah, I really didn't think that the concerns in the previous episode that Penny had about her incompatibility with Leonard would lead them to not date already. Like, I knew their relationship couldn't last just yet, but I didn't think that they'd be done with it after one episode. And here they are trying to make each other jealous. Didn't Penny say she was sick of dating all the rich hot men though, yet that's what she jumped back into? But eventually her and Leonard will still realize that they still care about each other as friends, and they can build back their friendship, and then we can go from there. We got to see Leslie Winkle again though. We haven't had too many recurring side characters. I think it's just her and Dr. Gablehauser so far. But it's always so much fun when she shows up. She's my favorite out of those two, at least. But it's always endlessly amusing, especially the way she seems to get on Sheldon's nerves. And apparently she grew tired of waking up on a strange futon with a bunch of people she doesn't know. So it sounds like she was having some fun before now. And her Tommy was so funny, just so out of character. And I'm like 99% sure that Sheldon was playing Mario 64 because of the pausing sound, but he also said that he wanted to play with Leonard on the N64, so that's not a multiplayer game. Were they just planning on like passing the controller back and forth? Poor Sheldon, though, had to keep sitting out in the hallway. Why couldn't he just like stayed in his room? Actually, why couldn't Leonard and Leslie hang out in Leonard's room? Either way, there was like no reason Sheldon had to be kicked out of the apartment entirely, right? Especially since the first date, they already said they weren't going to have sex, so I don't know. But Sheldon agrees to go outside in the event that if he ever finds a mate, Leonard will reciprocate by leaving the apartment. So he seems to not be opposed to the idea of a partner at the very least. It would just have to be like a very particular kind of person who could just not just put up with him, but also enjoy his company and vice versa. Feels like that's gonna take a while to find. And yeah, just as Leonard was wrapping up his date with Leslie, Penny was wrapping up her date, and they just both couldn't help but try to make each other jealous. Pleasantly surprised about how on board Leslie was for making Penny just jealous, escalating their kiss even further. And I've mentioned this before, that Leslie's like eccentric, and there are certain aspects of her personality that aren't my type. But there are things that I also really, really like about her. And sure, she's kind of like enabling Leonard's jealousy a bit here, but that moment where she kisses him back very passionately makes me realize that one thing you can be sure of is that she'll always have your back no matter what. And that's such a great characteristic to have. But the big deal breaker was the fact that Leonard believes in string theory and she believes in loop quantum gravity. Is that what it is? I was a physics major for like a year, but we didn't talk about that. But I'm more of a string theory guy myself. But for that to be a deal breaker is a little amusing. I mean, I don't judge her because we all have things that we are very particular about or very passionate about. For instance, I can't date somebody who doesn't support like compassionate socioeconomic policies. It just I also probably I feel like I need to date somebody who will play video games with me at least a little, or because I don't know, it's just something that I enjoy doing, and I would look for that in a partner as well. Obviously, there are a lot of other different deal breakers, but I'm talking about ones that are like more specific to me. Obviously, you want someone who can communicate well, someone who can enjoy your sharing your passions, and they're compassionate, intelligent, etc. Anyway, super funny that Leslie had just accepted that her and Leonard's children would just have lactose intolerance and be relatively short and have male pattern baldness, but string theory was the deal breaker. So that was pretty funny. I enjoyed the little subplot about the Renaissance Fair and Sheldon just being so upset at all the historical inaccuracies. Made me realize that I haven't been to a Renaissance Fair since I was a kid and our school took us. And after watching this episode, I kind of unironically want to go, though I don't think I'll be dressing up like they do. Speaking of which, Howard and his costume that his mom made him, that was so sweet, the way he loves wearing the jester hat because his mom made it for him. Penny's friend complimented it, and he was just like so genuine and full of joy in that moment. Thanks, my mom made it for me. Just, So, despite Howard and his mother's ridiculous relationship where they just yell at each other constantly, and despite the fact that Howard is so immature in so many ways, there is some sensitivity there that's actually really sweet. And I think this might be the first time I've mentioned a positive personality trait of his. But yeah, they get Sheldon to agree to go back as Spock in an alternate version of Earth. And Sheldon can be difficult, and while I'm wary of them possibly using deceitful tactics to make him do something unreasonable, it's also really fun to see them get him to do things that should be like perfectly agreeable. Like getting a birthday present for Leonard by telling him it's a non-optional social convention, I think. And here it was just about like reframing his point of view of the Renaissance Fair by changing who he would be cosplaying as. The Renaissance Fair. The Renaissance Fair. Freaking Ted Mosby. I can't help but think of that pronunciation whenever I see or hear the word Renaissance. I guess I should be happy I don't do what Mosby does with chameleon. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, Ted Mosby's from How I Met Your Mother. Anyway, that's going to be it for this episode, guys. Very funny episode. It'll be interesting to see how Leonard and Penny's friendship, where it goes from here. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Leave a like, really helps with the channel. Full reactions on Patreon in the link in the description below, and I will see you guys next time. Bye, friends.